All right, I'm back. I'm gonna be doing axle seals, axle bearings. However, I don't have a press nor a grinder to take the old axle bearings off, so I'm probably just gonna pull them out and take them to a shop to see if they can do it, supply them parts, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. Or if not, I will try to see if anybody else here can do it. But yeah, it's very cold. Um, It's winter in Canada. This garage isn't heated, but there's a little portable heater going right now. So wait for that to warm up and hopefully you know, get some warmth back into me because it's very cold, I will say. So I am gonna have to do this in parts, mainly because I am sharing a garage with somebody and I don't really want to take up the entire garage so they can't park in here because let's be honest, parking in the cold in winter in Canada sucks. Dealing with snow on top of your car just makes it like 10 times colder. So I'd like to do this in a couple parts, but I'm gonna edit it so it's only one video, if that kind of makes sense. But mainly just do axle bearings, preferably both side, but this one's really bad on this side. And on top of that, this wheel or axle seal is leaking really bad. So I'd like to fix that as well. But probably the first plan of action with this is to take off the front bumper because I'm so dirt nasty low that if I jack up the rear end of the car, it's probably gonna hit the ground. And really, I don't want that. And while I'm in there, I might clean up a whole bunch of stuff that's behind the bumper. That's, you know, you can't really see right now, but once I take off the bumper, you'll definitely be able to see. And I know of that one of my tow hooks on the passenger side from the previous owner is completely like caved in and bent. So I'd like to see if I can straighten that up too. But yeah, I'm gonna take the battery out too because it is winter and I'm not gonna be driving this thing, so I don't wanna kill the battery. But yeah, first plan of action, probably take out the battery, then the bumper, then open up the garage door, which I'm really dreading, jack up the rear end of the car, put some jack stands underneath of it, and go from there. Now I'm gonna assume everybody knows how to take out a battery. You quite literally just undo that, loosen that, widen those, same with the negative, and you just slide off and you can take the battery out. Engine, still the exact same as before, still just got filter and cool radiator hoses, and that's pretty much it. I'd like to get a manifold for it, and I'd like to do a full exhaust because the one that's on the car is quite obnoxious, like ear piercing, obnoxiously loud. So yeah, I'd also like to do like suspension, like coilovers and whatnot, because right now I'm on some like weird super soft lowering springs from like the 80s that are made in Germany, and in the rear I'm on like 3 coils cut TRD springs. So, and they ride like absolute garbage. They're super stiff, and quite literally every time I drive this car my back hurts afterwards. So yeah. All right, so battery is officially out. Put it on cardboard, I think. I don't know, I got told by some wise old folk that you should always do that. I don't know the actual reasoning behind it, so I'm gonna just do it anyways. Better be safe than sorry. All right, so yeah, battery's out, like I said. Bumper's held on with like minimal hardware. The way it's held on is concerning, but that's okay. I might just add more zip ties and hopefully that fixes it. But yeah, so there's a zip tie holding it on that side and a bolt on that side, and then there's 2 bolts on this side, which I know, crazy. 2 bolts holding on a bumper, crazy. And then the rear end we don't talk about. It's held on with hopes and dreams, pretty much. But yeah, that's and that's where things sit. Kind of, I might try to make this fit a little bit better then, while it's off. But it is a replica bumper, I know. But I'm honestly fine with replica kits because finding a, you know, let's say a good line front bumper for this thing that's a genuine good line and in good condition is like $1.50. I don't feel like paying that much money. So if I can get like a cheap beater bumper for like $200 that I can just like oh no, I accidentally slammed into a curb. You know, much rather have that than the ordeal. But as for like hoods, if I were to go for a carbon fiber hood, I'd try to, spend a little bit more money on that because, well, you're paying for quality. So I kind of want the weave to look good and whatnot. And like same with like fiberglass parts, like fenders and whatnot. I'd also like to, if I'm doing like stuff like that, I would like to spend a little bit more money on it, even if it's replica, just so it fits a little bit better and I don't have to shave as much, because let's be honest, all fiberglass parts always need trimming no matter what. But yeah, so I'm gonna take off the front bumper now, jack up the corner of this car, and then do all the bolts and slide it off, and hopefully that's it, because yeah. All right, it's not off the ground, but I don't want it to be because I just have to get that bolt. Sorry for the glare. I gotta get that bolt off. So I just wanted enough room that I can fit my fingers in between and get that off. But there's bolt there, and then this is what I was talking about by it's really mounted very scarily. Yeah, not very yeah, it's fine, I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. All right, both sides are taken off. Now I just have to break that zip tie, cut that zip tie, and then undo that bolt. And the bumper shall be off. Yay. All right, bumper's off. It may or may not have fell on the ground very, very hard, and it's cold out, and I'm scared I broke it, but it's already cracked, so I can't really, say much. But I did find, however, one of the mounting surfaces, you can't really see it, but there's a fat crack where it mounts, and that scares me a little bit. But it's okay. Zip ties fix everything. This is what it looks like underneath, and this is what I mean by it's mounted very good. Yeah, you could say that. But and then this is the tow hook that I'm talking about. Straight, not straight. Straight, not straight. All right, so now it's time to jack up the rear of the car. I have it chalked. Oh, but what happens if it rolls backwards? Because you're jacking up the front end. I got you. Don't worry. But both wheels are chalked in both directions, so that way it can't roll forward or backwards. I don't want to open the garage door, but I have to. It just started to get somewhat warm in here. Yippee. Not yippee. Hi, there's a little cut. There's a new day. New day, new me. Just kidding. But I guess yesterday I printed some test spacers and it failed halfway through. But roughly this is like I want to say a 7mm spacer. I wanted to try to print a 15. But I would never run plastic. This is just for testing purposes only. But lines up perfectly, like absolutely, if I can get it on. Perfect. So I'm gonna grab one of the long champs, throw them on, and in theory they're a +20. So if I do end up getting a 15mm, it will go to a +5. So that is my goal. I want to fix the fitment a little bit, but yeah, I don't want to be super sunk. I do want to be a little bit sunk, but not all the way sunk, if that makes any sort of sense. But yeah. All right, I'm back. As you can see, different clothes. It's been like a week since I last touched this thing. Mainly because I was focusing on trying to finish my schooling. Well, first semester schooling, so like exams and whatnot. I did, barely. But today I want to try and get the axles pulled since I am on break now. Because I have free time now, I guess. But yeah, I want to try to pull them today so they're out of the way. And then go from there. I don't know. I think I might have a seal here, but I might have to order one. And then as for axles and bearings, like I said, don't have the tools. So I'll get somebody else to do them, like a shop preferably. So hopefully it's not going to cost too much, because I really don't want it to cost too much, because I'm broke. But yeah, axles, brake calipers, rotors, pop off, slide off, pull axles, call it good. Also forgot to mention about the wheels with the spacer. I know I kind of just left it off. 15 mil is probably going to be the best bet. The 7 mil is kind of a little bit sunk. Probably had maybe a picture in somewhere, but yeah. Anyways, I have no idea what I am doing, so take this with a grain of salt for whatever I do. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. But yeah, so I assume caliper off, slide that off, then rotor, and then there should be bolts. I think there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath this rotor. And then I can take the slide hammer that I just bought and pull it out. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about by the axle seals. Yeah, not good. The inside of my wheels are always covered in stuff. But I mean, rust prevention, right? Yeah, maybe. All right, pad is off. I guess caliper, I guess. This took me so long because I undid the parking brake bolt and I'm like, why isn't it not moving? And I realized the hard way. Had a buddy, called a buddy and sorted it out. But now it's off. As you can see, not good. Not good. Alright, well now all I gotta do is there's 4 bolts that hold the axle in, and then should be able to slide out hopefully, maybe. Alright, all the bolts are out now. Now I'm hoping this can just slide out very easily and I don't have to put like 4 hours into it. Oh boy. Okay, well, I pulled the axle out. However, the bearing seems fine, so I'm gonna just keep it, not replace it. That way I don't have to spend $500 for Toyota to press a new bearing on. But yeah, no, that seal is shot, 100%. I had to use Call a Friend, which I know, whatever, but should definitely go check him out. Slow Enough on Instagram. Really chill dude. Like, I mean, he's like super chill. But yeah, he owns a whole bunch of cool cars, and he's been helping me throughout this whole process because I have like minimal mechanic knowledge. So yeah. All right, yeah, bearing or axle out, thankfully. Very dirty axle seal, definitely shot, definitely. So I'll replace that because that's something I can do. But as for what the noise could be, I don't know. Nor do I care. If it's something in the rear end, I'm not fixing it. I'll let it grenade. That requires pulling everything, and I don't want to do that, like, at all. Also, sorry for sniffling a lot. It is very cold in here. My nose is running. I've been wearing gloves, which were like brand new and used for surveying, but they're completely destroyed now. But it's okay because I got to keep my fingers somewhat warm, so that's good, I think. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna conclude it here. Since it is literally just pulling out that old axle seal thing, jiggy, and putting the new one in, and then reversing all the steps, you know, sliding the axle and blah, 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 blah. Not that interesting to watch if you ask me. So, yeah, thank you for watching. There'll be more to come. I do plan on getting another car, hopefully if everything all goes well, that is more track oriented. And the more car that I can, like, you know, slide around corners and slide around and get good with it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, hopefully that all goes well. Get another car. And I'll be like the get down jiggy with it car. But yeah, so that's all for this little project thingy-majiggy. I'll eventually put this back together, and then hopefully it'll be ready before spring so I can take it out again. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. But bye-bye.